how will you know how it is elsewhere if you have not actually tried it, if you have not actually explored it? How would you know that where you are is the best place that you could be if you have not tasted other things? How do you know that economy class tickets is already okay if you have not tried business class tickets? If you watch the previous video, I made comparisons about how I'm thinking from an investment and business perspective now that I'm nearing my 40s versus when I was in my 20s. And now if I would give advice to my 20-year-old self, what would it be? Or if there's anything that I wish I would have changed or I wish I would have done differently, what would it be? And that's what I want to share to all of you, and I hope it gives you value, and I hope that if you're in your 20s or in your 30s and you're watching this, it gives you further insight so that you do better than what I do, regardless if it's good. Because if I do what's good, you could always do something that's better. You could do something that's great. And that's one of the reasons why I keep pumping out videos like this, because I want to change the narrative that to all 315,000 of you watching this, I do hope that your lives be better. I do hope that you would actually earn more, that you would do better than me, that you'd invest better than me, that you'd make better decisions also than me as well. You all know me as a guy who loves investing in the stock market. I love diversifying into different things. I first started out investing and learning about equity 2007. I started learning about it 2006, but I made the jump 2007. That was in my early 20s, but that was purely Philippine stocks. I had the ability to be able to learn and actually deploy capital outside the Philippines 2013, and it took me 6 years to be able to do it in spite of having the knowledge that, hey, I could actually do it already. But because I was so biased with the investments that I knew, it took me some time before I actually ventured into other asset classes that would be beneficial for me. And that happened also similar to Bitcoin. I first heard and learned about Bitcoin 2013, but it took me 5 years, 2018, to actually take the plunge, to actually start, to actually do something about it. Why am I saying this to all of you? Looking at it in hindsight, if I knew it early on, it would have been super beneficial for me to be part of Apple at a very, very young age, to be part of Amazon, to be part of Microsoft at a very, very young age. I would have done so already. Imagine the upside that I missed out on all of those other technology stocks that right now we're actually using. Not just technology stocks, even the companies that we use every day, from Unilever to Procter & Gamble to McDonald's to Nike to Starbucks. They had massive upsides over the course of my entire adult life. Of course, I've been part of that. I was able to ride waves of that also, but what if I started with that? What if I wasn't too biased with what I knew? What if I wasn't too biased, just focusing on this particular market, purely focusing on Philippine stocks, that I diversified into it? The same with Bitcoin. Instead of me being super biased about it, for those who are watching me now, you know that I'm a big advocate of Bitcoin. I'm a big fan of what it does, how game-changing it actually is. But that wasn't me in 2013. Even when I first started, the conviction that I have now wasn't really there. The only reason why I understood it, I knew more about it, was, of course, you all knew that I studied it, but because I actually started. The same way also for the US markets, what gave me the conviction to actually put in more, be a part of it, is that I actually started with a little amount, a small amount. If there's any advice I'd give my 20-year-old self, keep on trying it and not be prejudiced and biased just because I think that this particular asset, this particular business, this particular idea is something that's already very, very good. I've come to the conclusion that it's worth trying as much as you can. It's worth trying different things. It's worth trying and exploring different avenues. In the same way, maybe some of you might be just focused on, I'm just gonna work here in this job, or I'm just gonna stay here in this city all my life. How will you know how it is elsewhere if you have not actually tried it, if you have not actually explored it? How would you know that where you are is the best place that you could be if you have not tasted other things? How do you know that economy class tickets is already okay if you have not tried business class tickets? I've been using electronic toothbrushes for 2 years now, but before using that, all my life, 30 plus years, I've been using manual. When you start using electric toothbrushes, ang hirap na bumalik because you've experienced something that makes life easier, efficient, and more comfortable. For all I knew that, okay na tong manual eh. Hindi ko naman kailangan yan eh. There are certain things in life that when you start trying, you realize that it's so much different, that there's so much upside towards it. And that's why I guess what I'm saying to all of you here, and even if you're in your 40s and if you're in your 50s and you're watching this, it's time to start experimenting. It's time to start trying to do other things. It's time to either exploring that if you've been employed all your life, maybe investing and double down into something, or doing a business, starting something that you've never done before, or if you've really wanted to move to another job, maybe it's time to do it. Or if you've really wanted to move to another city that you have not tried, but you're just scared about what other people would say, or you're just thinking about what's gonna happen, I lose this stability, I lose this security, I lose this chance for me to just get this fixed amount, or what if I actually fail if I start to move? You'll never know it. And the only way for you to know is to actually try it. You don't have to go big or go home. You can actually start making small steps, small things for you to be able to know more about it. If that actually means that maybe if you want to work at a certain city, maybe small steps could be looking at jobs in that particular city. In the same way also, if you've been renting a house for so long and then you actually decided that maybe it's time for me to start buying a house. Or another way for you to actually do it is that if you wanted to move to another city also, instead of buying a house too quickly, maybe one prudent way for you to be able to do it is to rent first, to be able to see if you like that place or you like that size. Because if you go all in and then it doesn't work the way you want it to be, it's hard to come back. Take as much risk. Don't be too biased to a certain ideology, to a certain investment. Don't get tied up with that, but start to explore, start to experiment, start to try things. Because when you start to try, explore, and experiment, then it opens a whole world of opportunity for you also that you never thought was there, that you never thought existed. When you realize that's actually better here, you'll actually thank yourself for taking the risk. You'll actually thank yourself for actually doing what needed to be done in order for you to be able to achieve that goal. I think that's one of the things that I would say to myself in my early 20s, to keep on trying, to have an open mind, especially for things that are new. How do I apply that to now? I believe there will be a lot of things that will change, that will shift, that will move, especially technology. And my goal is to learn. That's why I'm trying to dabble into so many things, from AI to the metaverse, to different iterations of NFTs and blockchain, to different projects that are highly connected to cryptocurrencies. They're new, they're risky, they're scary. Not a lot of people are into it yet. But when will I try? When will I take the time to learn more about it if I don't actually do it now? Because the only time that we have is now. Let's not waste it. It's nice to enjoy the moment. It's nice to be comfortable. But there's a lot more upside in discomfort. There's a lot more upside when we're doing things that we're not super excited about, or that scare us, or that frighten us. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys learned a lot, appreciate it if you can like, share, subscribe, and smash the bell so you get updated every time we come up with new content about investing. And if you guys have any questions, put it down below, and I'll try my best to be able to answer you from different types of content that I have as well. And if you want to know more about investing in stocks or in crypto, check it out down below. We have different books that you can learn from, thousands of videos that I have, and different seminars that you can choose from. That's it for now. Marvin Germo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon. God bless you. Bye.